So today is the part 2 to the canned peach and elderflower, kind of mild sparkling wine that we started 3 weeks ago now. So I've already went ahead and I have taken a hydrometer reading because, well, you've seen me put liquid in the hydrometer. I can't put it directly in the container because, well, the hydrometer is bigger. So it is reading 1 on my lovely hydrometer, which means it's not quite dry, but at the same time we've still got around 5% alcohol. So it should be a nice, light, flavorful little wine. So we're going to bottle this up today, so let's get into this. So because we want this to have a fruity flavor, we're going to have to back sweeten it. Now if you don't back sweeten it, it won't have that fruity flavor. It needs the sweetness to bring out the fruit notes. So the easiest way to do this is to actually try it. So that's what we're going to do. So open it up. Now it is slightly hazy. Now that's got a little bit of yeast in there that's still floating around because it hasn't dropped out. And also because we didn't add pectolase to it. So if you want your product to be pure and clear, you can do that. But I don't care. Simply put, I don't really mind. I'm interested in how it tastes, not necessarily if it's perfectly clear or not. Some people agree, some people don't. So just make a simple siphon. Down it goes. We need some liquid. So it does have some bits in here, which I can get rid of by sterilizing my funnel and my sieve and just straining it through that as I'm siphoning it out. It's not a big deal, but for this taste, it doesn't bother me. So, cheers. So I can already mildly taste peach and I can definitely taste the elderflower. So I'm going to be back sweetening this with some sweetener. And the sweetener that I'm using, my sweetener of choice, is my sucralose based sweetener. I'm not a great fan of aspartame. And let's try 1 teaspoon. Because I'm cool like that. Bit of swirl. I prefer the powdered sweetener because, well, it disintegrates a lot quicker. The solid ones kind of leave some crud in there. Not a great fan of that. So just make sure the fizzing has stopped. Anything that fizzes can't be good. But cheers. Wow. Okay. So instantly I'm getting the sweetness of the peach. The elderflower has died back. It is really good and it's nice and light. That's about 1/4, so we're going to need somewhere in the region of about 5 sweeteners in this per bottle. Now, because there's still bits in here, I'm not a great fan of brewing with bits. That means we're probably only going to get about 4 bottles, which is a shame, but at the same time, it works, it's tasty. Oh, that is really good. The peach is really coming out now. So I'm going to go grab my bottles and we're going to bottle this up. So I've got my bottles now. Now the ones I'm using are my recycled glass bottles. Now, if you're doing it for yourself, you can actually buy the bottles, which is a good idea because they all look pretty and nice. But I give my bottles away and I used to buy them. The only trouble with that is people used to put my bottles in the recycling and then they were gone. So I stopped doing that and actually asked people to give me their bottles with screw caps. Obviously, if you want to use a corker, you can. You just got to change things a bit. But this works out really well for me because it's free bottles and I don't mind if they get recycled. So I've went ahead and I've sterilized my funnel and my sieve to remove these little chunks that keep coming out. But this stuff tastes really good. Very fruity. Wow, it's good. So the process is pretty straightforward. I've already created my siphon, which is here looking all lovely. Now all I'm going to do is add my sweetener to my bottles. So I did do 6 bottles because, well, it's better to have too many clean ones. But I'm only expecting to get somewhere around 4 bottles. So going to use all the same type of bottle because I'm cool like that. I'm going to pre-add my sweetener to it. Use my cheeky funnel. And I said, because of the amount of liquid I poured out to 1, it's about 5 sweeteners in here. So I'm going to go ahead and add 5 teaspoons of my sweetener to these bottles. 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the rest, so I'll see you when I've done that. So I've finished adding my sweetener to the bottle. Now since I sterilized my funnel using boiling water, otherwise known as scorching it, it dried pretty much instantly with all the excess heat. So I found it easier to add the sweetener to something dry than if it was wet and adding it after. You could use the finger funnel, of course. It makes no difference which way you do it. So I've got my funnel on top and I've got my sieve to collect all those little bits that I don't want in my bottles. So I'm basically just gonna put these on the ground and siphon them. So I'll see you once I've done that. So I've ended up with 5 bottles instead of 4. Now the reason I didn't get my 6 bottles, which I love to get, is because there was too many bits in there. Now I could try and filter it all off, but that's a lot more effort and time than it's worth. 5 bottles is still perfectly fine for this type of wine. It is really good. It has a lovely peach forefront taste. And then the aftertaste has got elderflower. It is really good, and it's 5%, so it's great for what it is. Now I was going to carbonate this, but at the same time, this is very good. I'm not going to carbonate it. It is fantastic as it is. Now I'm going to enjoy this on a summer's day, because this doesn't taste like alcohol. It tastes like squash, cordial, which is one of the most dangerous types of alcohol that you can possibly make, because it doesn't taste like alcohol. It tastes like just a nice little soft drink, which I'm going to enjoy. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out some of the other ones, and carry on homebrewing, guys. See you later.